Machine Gun Preacher is the inspirational story of Sam Childers, a former drug-dealing criminal who undergoes an astonishing transformation and finds an unexpected calling as the savior of hundreds of kidnapped and orphaned children. Gerard Butler, known for 300 and Bounty Hunter, delivers a searing performance as Childers. When ex-biker gang member Sam Childers makes the life-changing decision to go to East Africa to help repair homes destroyed by civil war, he is outraged by the unspeakable horrors faced by the region's vulnerable populace, especially the children. Ignoring the warnings of most experienced aid workers, Sam breaks ground for an orphanage where it's most needed, in the middle of territory controlled by the brutal Lord's Resistance Army, the LRA, a renegade militia that forces youngsters to become soldiers before they even reach their teens.
The past few years I've lost my son, almost lost my home, almost lost my marriage, almost lost everything, but I never gave up. And what God has done for me, He's there to do for each and every one of us. But the problem is, as soon as something goes bad, we want to quit, we want to slow down, we're not going back to church, we start blaming God on everything that's happening.
Sam Childers, Jason, and Machine Gun Preacher Man.
Being taken backstage, we were allowed to talk with Sam Childers himself and Jason Keller, who happens to be the screenwriter for Machine Gun Preacher.
I heard it was a 3-year process for the actual film, from the concept getting going. Is this true? Is that how long?
3.5 years, from me meeting Sam to today, basically, which by Hollywood standards is very fast.
Yeah, it was very fast. There's some movies like this here that's been in the makings for over 10 years. But, you know, as I've always said, God has a plan. And, I mean, people in Hollywood can't even hardly believe how fast it went. But it went that fast because there was people like Jason, Mark Forrester, and also Gerard Butler. I mean, because of the key people were out there to push it and get it going is why it happened.
And with it being a biography or a biopic like this, it sounds like there was nothing that had to be Hollywoodized because this life was so amazing. It was all right there for you. It was more like what we can't fit in because of time, or how did that go down?
It's true. You know, the movie is you know, it's a true story, and you know, every scene in the movie really is, if it's not ripped straight from Sam's life or the children's lives in Sudan, you know, it's directly inspired by events that happened to Sam, his family, or the kids in Sudan. So I had plenty to work with. I didn't have to make anything up. I think really, if anything, it was hard for me to kind of pare down and fit it all into one movie because frankly the stories were just too amazing. You know, both on, you know, in the United States with Sam, but also the stories I heard from the children in Sudan, which is why we made this movie. The stories were, some of them frankly, too incredible to...
I can truly tell you that the first part of my life, the first part of the movie is all 100% on, except the timeline. They had to really bunch the timeline in because it was multiple years bunched together.
You're talking about a 30-plus year story that you're trying to fit into 2 hours, you know, so you didn't have to do that.
And it was all filmed where, on location?
We shot in Detroit and
Is
South
it
Africa.
theatrical release on the 23rd and then the 30th, or how does that break down?
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, L.A., New York on the 23rd, Chicago the 30th, I think, and then we open in markets week to week after that, more markets.
And is there a price tag that you connect with it where you say it was a $1 million, $1.5 million, $3 million, $10 million film budget project, or?
I think they're saying it was a $30 million movie. I think that's best.
It did run over 30 the last that I heard.
I think that's
definitely under 40 million.
A question for both of you gentlemen. As you saw the premiere last night with Pastor Muncie, as he was saying throughout the service, is that as he saw each scene by scene, he became overwhelmed. How was your overall feeling about the movie? Was there certain scenes that you got wrapped up in? Like with Sam, I know this is your biography, basically. Yeah. Were there any scenes that you were like, I remember this heart by heart, and brought you back to that moment in time?
You know, everything through the whole movie, I knew where they got the scenes from out of my life. the first part was probably the hardest for me because I knew that person that I was so many years ago was a very hard and bad person. So it's hard for me every time I watch the movie and see the first hour, I literally cry. I mean, because it's hard for me to look back at that person that I was. But definitely, the entire movie is definitely based on the truth. And I mean, there are some things that is, you know, Hollywood done a few things too, but it's all based on the truth, and it's right out of the book. You know, if you want to see it, you can also get it. There was a few different moments. There was one time of my life where I guess I can go ahead and tell the story. We stopped and picked up a hitchhiker, and when we did, the hitchhiker put a knife to the driver's throat and said, "Take me to such and such a town," and I was actually kind of sleeping, and then I was not sleeping but passed out, and I woke up and seen it, and I said, "We're not going there," and the guy said, "No, take me there," and he's holding the knife. So I put my foot on the gas and held the gas to the floor, and we were going way over 100 miles an hour down the highway, and the hitchhiker and the driver were all scared we were all going to die, you know. So anyways, he dropped the knife. I grabbed the knife, I jumped in the back seat, I stabbed the guy like 3 times, and I actually thought I killed the guy, and I left the town that I was in, and probably a year of my life I was just looking over my shoulder constantly. And then I find out like a year later that the guy never did die. Yeah, and I thank God for that, and once again it goes to show us that God looks out for us even when we don't serve him, you know, because at that time I wasn't serving God, but God knew this day was coming, you know.
I've done a lot of things that I ain't proud of. Hurt a lot of people.
You can't keep going the way you've been going.
Help me. I don't got no good shoes, Lynn.
I'm here today to talk to you about families just like yours, half a world away, that desperately need your help.
I was thinking maybe I could go over there.
Africa?
Reckon they can do with all the help they can get. I'll be back before you know it. You in the army or something?
We are freedom fighters.
I'm Sam. Nice to meet you. I want to go into Sudan this weekend. Need someone to show me around.
This is a war zone. If you stay here, you're going to get killed.
It's safer to sleep here than in their own homes.
They ain't sleeping out here.
There are too many. You can't help them all.
Gotta take as many as we can. Tell the other ones we'll come back later. I need the money for an extra vehicle so that I can save some children.
Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down! That's the orphanage that I'm gonna build in Sudan.
They talk about you, the children.
Just trying to help these people. Same as you.
The entire rebel army has put a bounty on your head.
I must be doing something right. They burn it down. Ain't nothing left. It's over.
Get off your butt and build it again. You hear me?
Sam, wait!
She will wait and get you!
This place does not need more guns.
Why don't you fight the evil in this place your way and let me fight it mine? Helping you kids is about the only good thing I've ever done in this life. You got no idea what I'm saying, do you?